Hi there, I'm Mr. Producer, and our special guest on today's Fullerton Unfiltered podcast is none other than Kris Kiser. You know Kris, he's the president and CEO of the Outdoor Power Equipment Institute, and he's also in charge of the 2022 EQUIP Exposition. Can you believe it? It's coming up next week, of course, there in Louisville, Kentucky, expecting more than 20,000 people, 1,000 or more exhibits, plus a 30-acre outdoor demo yard. Now, Brian looks forward to meeting you at the event, and I know today's interview is going to be very helpful for you. But a quick reminder, today is the last day to register for the show. After today, that price goes up to $80 if you walk up and register for the show there in person. So don't do that. Register now and remember to save with the code BRIAN, B-R-I-A-N, to save 50%. It's the last day, so do that now.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no-nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Brian.
Hey, Mr. Kiser. Hey, I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
I'm good. It's a little crazy right now.
You're kidding me, brother. I just got off of line one with Team Xmark. I was actually doing a podcast talking about what's latest and greatest with those guys. And I said, I am about 3 minutes late to hop on my next phone call with none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Kris Kiser. And the gentleman I was talking to, he said, you better get on the phone with that guy. He's a big fish. I'm a nobody. So long story short, appreciate you being patient in the holding pattern here. But what's new? What's new with you, brother? How's man? We're just a couple days out here from the show. So what's going on?
I'm witnessing it firsthand. I've moved to Louisville, Kentucky. I'm in the office now for full time. I have an office in the office, and I always knew the show was busy. I knew there's a million parts, but it's getting crazy.
Yeah,
in a good way.
Yeah,
there's a lot. The staff is energized. Lots of materials are coming here. It's just the process as it comes down, the questions the exhibitor has, the questions landscapers have, the questions attendees have. So the phone never stops. They're fielding all those calls. We're expecting a big year.
Yeah.
The show is sold out. The numbers look fantastic. We've hit revenue records. We're already bigger than 21, which is a good big year for us last year. So it's going to be a dynamic show. I just saw the latest RSVPs for the opening reception. They're now at like 4,200.
Holy cow.
Yeah, we keep revising our catering count up and up and up and up because we weren't quite sure, right? That's Tuesday night. It's the opening event. And our hotels, I just got a hotel report. We're up 33% on Tuesday night over all previous years. So all the indicators are very, very strong.
So, Kris, I think the question everybody has listening into the show, because we're very proud of our industry, are we going to take this thing to the number 5 or 4 or 3 or number 1 biggest trade show in the country? I mean, that's just how all of our egos are in the green industry, anyway. I mean,
I like the way you think. Well, certainly by square foot, we're really very large, and in the off years. So the way a lot of the big trade shows, ConAg, and construction and some other big ones,
mm-hmm.
They're every 3 years or every 2 years. We're an annual show. For an annual show, I'll wager we're the largest annual show.
Wow.
On a year over year. Last year, we were number 2 by square feet.
Okay.
But some of the other big shows, they were in their off year. Because Utility Expo uses a lot of square feet, right? They have a lot of trucks outside, that sort of thing. But we're growing. This is the 39 years. This is the first time we've sold out. So we sold out North Hall, East Hall, and the South Hall.
Well,
and we sold out outdoors, and we expanded the outdoors to 30 acres. So it's crazy.
I mean, I got to just throw a quick, a correlation or causation, but you guys sponsored our summer tour series here with, we highlighted yeah.
Gotta be it. It's gotta be it.
I'm just, correlation or causation, right, brother? We had this Launchpreneur summer series. We interviewed across the state and a couple of parts of the country, 6 teenagers from like age 15 to 20, and they're all kicking butt, and I just, you guys partnered up with the Brian's. I'm just kidding. Okay, folks, relax. But
no, look, you've been very good. You're very good to us, and we appreciate that. You're a driver. You're sending people to Expo, and that makes us very, very happy.
Yes. Well, Oh, 1 second here. 1 second. I got a phone call on this. I'm in a friend's office right now. Go figure. That's how it works. But I can't control his phone, so I'm just making a quick timestamp here after this phone stops ringing. But 1 second here. I think we are good. Well, Kris, I got to say, no, it's funny. You guys have been just great to partner up with as well. The attendance of the show, you said the exhibitor space is sold out, but people can still come as an attendee or a visitor. So talk to me a little bit. I think if we're not mistaken, the last day to get your pre-sale ticket price, it went up to the $20, but instead of getting it at the door for $80, is October 19th, which is going to be today. So you guys can still register with code Brian. But Kris, one, is there still opportunity for people to come? And then number two, give just again the 50,000 square foot overview of this thing, because a lot of new listeners to the show, and maybe they got a week or a couple of days before the event, they can still come on down.
Absolutely, we'll do several thousand day of, right? So we'll have a lot of folks that whether the weather, their jobs allow it, or the weather is improved, or what have you. We'll do several thousand. We'll probably do 3,000-4,000 on-site registrations. People can just drive in. Yes, you can certainly come. Registrations are open. When I say sellout, that's just simply the exhibition hall. So we sold out all of the exhibitor space. We have about 1,000 exhibits. So yes, attendees can register anytime up to and including anytime during the show. So come to the show, drive to the show, fly to the show. You're always welcome.
Yeah. And again, you guys can 4,000 people at the front door. I might just start running around with a big sign that says Brian, promo code Brian. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm like, folks, don't pay $80 at the door. It's completely unnecessary. Now, if you're deciding last minute to go based on life and weather and your crews, your equipment, if the wife can hold the kids, for a day or so you can zip on down a couple hours away. I get it. But nonetheless, you can still register for this thing and still go. I mean, there's tons of people that are going last minute, bunch of great Facebook groups out there, and other friends that are headed down, and you can network, share a hotel room. Get it. If all the hotels are sold out, I'm sure there's some other options around town, like an Airbnb, or you can come camp, for crying out loud. But I've seen a little bit of everything. But there's still hotels, I'm sure, available that you can always call up, and maybe they got some last minute cancellations, right, Kris? So
there are hotels there. They may not be right downtown or right at the KC, but certainly in Jefferson County, Southern Indiana, there are hotels. And what we hear a lot, the folks that do decide last minute, they come down. We hear it a lot is, oh my gosh, I had no idea. Oh my gosh, this is obviously for the first timers. It's bigger. I should have. If I was going to take this time, I should have done it earlier. So I would say to folks, if you're thinking about it, plan. It is that kind of show. Listen, it's opening reception. It's Trace Atkins. It's Joel Sartore. It's David Faraday. It's peer-to-peer, training, education. All these options available to you. Your event, the influencers event. There's lots of things to do once you're here. And I do think you're cutting yourself a little short if you come for a day.
Yeah.
Now, look, if you can, right? Come down for a day, drive down for a day. But a lot of people tell us, I had no idea there was this much stuff here.
Hey, actually, that while we're talking about, I didn't know there was that much stuff there. You and I did a podcast episode probably about a month ago, and we covered a little bit more of the X's and O's and what the show is, which is it's the Super Bowl of what we do, folks. So it's the biggest trade show in the green industry by far. Every major brand is there on the inside, 40 plus acre, whatever it is, outdoor demo. You can, anything that you guys can think about, it will be there and available to touch it, see it, smell it, use it, drive it, whatever. But things that you don't know that might be there, I wanted to cover this for a quick minute, was the education and the education tracks and the Influencer Live and the Energize event. Can you talk about that as well, Kris? Because you guys have people. Let me back up. Let me slow down, because Kris, I've gotten a lot of this. Well, I went last year. I went to GIE last year, and now it's EQUIP this year, and they're rebranding, but it's the same show. And I've been telling a lot of people, it's not. I say the inmates are in charge of the prison. Okay, like this thing is going to go to the next level, and things that you guys couldn't do before or weren't able to do before, you guys are now implementing, and that includes education. It means ratcheting up the things that were awesome last year and doubling down on them and making them even cooler. So if you don't mind, hearing from the horse's mouth, can you talk about the education and the live events? Because I think I think a lot of people are coming for that community and that education. And that's something that I think sometimes gets, what would you say, Kris, kind of glossed over because there's so much equipment.
Sure. We don't put on the education ourselves. The show doesn't. What we like to do is find those partners in this space that have the firsthand knowledge, firsthand, relevance. And so we partner with the Irrigation Association on their irrigation training. We partner with the tree care folks, Davey Tree on tree care. We partner with landscape management now in the landscape space for the education offerings. We partner with Bob Clements and the dealer offerings. So what we try to do is annually look at that. What's the feedback? What are we hearing? What's relevant today for these particular audiences? Hardscape, they have their own, training. And we tailor that. So again, we're also learning every year that education training changes. We have designed it and put it in a calendar in a way that we try to limit the amount of time off floor. We're trying not to compete with show hours and the outdoor hours. But we want that stuff to be relevant. We have some terrific speakers in that space, terrific education speakers in that space. And again, that's working. And pool and spas new this year. We have some new tree stuff. So we looked at those professionals to put that on. We'll ask for feedback from that, and then we'll tailor it again next year. We want it relevant. And I'd say on the equipment side, it's a lot of the same exhibitors, but you've had a lot of very dynamic shifts in the marketplace, very large purchases, acquisitions, mergers of companies, right? You've also seen significant regulatory changes, California requirements, et cetera, that's driving new product into the space. For the first time, you'll see very large commercial ground-supported battery product. And we talk about the outdoor demo area. Now we have indoor demo areas. We have one major company that will have big indoor battery Zs and a track inside the building.
Really? Okay. Wow, I did not expect that.
Because you can run it now. So we saw some, we've been seeing chainsaws and the robots and some of the things indoors. But now you're going to see some bigger units. Same thing for outside. We have some first-time big exhibitors, big names, Kris, Ryobi, et cetera, that haven't been there before. Ego now is into the commercial space. Several of our folks have new product lines. Toro, you were just up there, right? So
yep.
A lot of new products in these channels. Aaron's has some products. Everybody has products. What am I saying?
Wow.
This is where they'll be. And so even if you said, I was there last year, well, the marketplace has changed. The regulatory environment's changed. The industry has changed with mergers and acquisitions, et cetera. And there's a lot of new product. I know of it that's going to be at the show. So if you want to see what that is, this is the time and place to see it.
Well, and I like what you said there, because with the education, number one, you're hearing from the horse's mouth, people that are doing what you guys want to learn about. It is really cool. There's a couple different, like the pool and spa track that I've talked about a couple times on the show. I'm excited about checking that out myself. And I've noticed, if you guys are 30, look, I get it. You can't teach an old dog new trick, right? I would encourage you to kind of break out of that mindset, right? You got to learn some new stuff and see what's new. Look over the fence. Maybe the grass is a little greener on the other side. Check out some stuff. It can't hurt you, right? The young guys, though, Kris, I'm really impressed. The 15, 18, 20-year-old kids, I call them kids, they are the first to sign up for this stuff. They are hungry for it. They want to learn from guys that are doing it. They're watching those YouTube videos at 10 o'clock at night, and frankly 2 o'clock in the morning. They're doing their homework. They got a notepad out. They're taking notes, and they're in these online courses and mastermind groups and all this other stuff, which is awesome. So I don't want you guys to just come on down for the show for the equipment only. Check out the education. So when you guys are signing up and you guys are using the promo code Brian to save 50% up until I think the 14th, get your ticket, but then check out the education classes. Don't just come to rock the equipment. Now, that being said, one thing that I think is really cool too is all the new equipment, because there are so much new stuff, so many new items and pieces of equipment coming out, like you just alluded to, Kris. And, frankly, guys, let's just call a spade a spade. Your dealer might get the pony show, zipping through, where the distributor, the regional rep, or even somebody from the company might come on through and call up their top 10 people and say, hey, can you meet us at the dealer or whatever? We got that new thing. But then they're going on tour, and then they're going to the next city in your state, and then they're going to the next state in the country, and you get a 10-minute flyby. And so and that's okay. That's fine. That's how it works. But if you want to check out all the new thing from the top 5, 10, 20 brands all in one spot, you can do all of your homework in one day. do a more extensive testing, go out on the outdoor or I guess even indoor demo track, which is crazy. Never thought we'd see that day. Go check out all that equipment and you can make your decisions. You can make your buying decisions in 2022, 2023, February, March, April, before you ever have to go into your dealer. It's just, I don't want it to just be a groupie con. I want you guys to go there,
sure.
do some education, get your research in. I mean, Kris, what's your thoughts on that?
I think you've hit it head on. And there will be products there that they're not yet at the dealer, or they're in limited supply, or products that you'll get a heads up on. Right?
Sure,
These
sure.
things are coming into the marketplace, and or get them ordered now. I think the nice thing about our show too is you just described the experience at a dealership or et cetera. Here you can do it at your leisure. And one of the nice things about Expo, and I know because I have a board meeting, right? So my 14 CEOs are at the show. So if you go to one of these big booths or one of our booths, oftentimes you'll have the executive leadership of the company, not just sales and marketing guys, but designers, product guys, engineers, right? That can talk to you.
Yeah.
How it works, why they did this, why that. And they have a depth and breadth of folks. They bring a lot of personnel, right? And I think that's as you said on younger folks. I've caught this. They're very comfortable with the technical side, the software side, right? The interconnectedness of the product, whether they're remote controlled or the robotics, what have you, drones. That's all there. And that's what I like to see. Newer, younger people coming into the business and taking advantage of sort of their comfort or their knowledge of these technical stuff, where I'm an old fart. Pardon me for saying that on air.
No, I'm with you, brother. I'm a dinosaur just like you,
But they really, our industry has come a long way with this stuff. And they get it. And so this is the place where it all comes together. And it's not just thrown in there slapdash. It's an organized, I've seen it firsthand. I'm in this office every day. The map, we've really focused, and I really want to talk to you after the event, because we have really focused now on getting in and out of the building, traversing the building, moving through the hallways. Where do you put the food? Where do you put the lavatories? Where do you put people? And you'll see a lot of changes. There's, we're on different sides of the road now. We're beside the building, food hall, yard, outdoor food. We've really thought about the attendee and the experience, frankly, moving around, getting in and out. So I'd like to get your opinion. Are we doing it better? Are we doing it worse? But we really wanted this to be experiential. There's a lot going on, and so we try to take those reins.
I love that. And there are a bunch of changes, like the registration, the main entrance is moved towards like the middle corner. It's not that green peaked entrance, just so you guys know. It's moved over to like that big glass atrium where it was kind of like a cafeteria / like lunch area. Is that correct still, Kris?
Yeah, you come in, the registration area is the north wing lobby. That's the big, high thing with the mezzanine. So both H&A, our show, and PGMS, all our registrations are in that north wing lobby.
Yes. And so, and by the way, if you guys need badges, all that's, well, when you get your badge, I should say, it's all going to be picked up in person. They're not mailing them out. So I'm getting a couple of people, Kris, hey, when do they start mailing badges? Because, right, we've used to.
Oh, thank you for raising that.
Yes.
Obviously, now it's like American Airlines. It's like in the airport. It's the kiosk, right?
Yes.
We have plenty of kiosks. There'll actually be kiosks at that opening reception. So you can print your own badge. It's a very easy procedure. I've done it here. We're hoping, again, here's something new. It'll be different for some folks, but hopefully it's an easier experience. We print a lot of badges mailed badges historically, and we've printed them again. A lot of the mailed badges don't end up coming to Louisville. So this way you can do it yourself at a kiosk. There'll be kiosks at the airport. There's kiosks in the major hotels. There's kiosks at the opening reception, and there'll be obviously a bunch of kiosks at the KEC.
That's good to know. I was talking to my friend Evan. He works with you guys, Evan, and I was picking his brain about 2-3 months ago, Kris. And I said, hey, tell me about mailing badges, and because I have a live event. I have a live event. Kris, if you're ever in Novi, Michigan, November 12th, Saturday, you got to come up and check out our live event. It's a lot of fun, but I have 300-400 people coming to this thing, and
holy moly,
yeah, it's a lot. Evan's actually been. I invited him in. I said, hey, could you come check out? Like, give me some honest feedback, like from a I really respect the industry. I want to just do you guys proud. I want to do everybody proud and just be a good advocate out here. And so Evans came up the last 2 or 3 shows, and I think he's coming again this year. Friday night, we have a go-kart rental that's part of your ticket.
I love that. Grew up with that.
Yeah, it's wild. It's a lot of fun. You take some of the most competitive business owners in the industry and put them on a high-powered go-kart. It's it's a recipe for success, and everybody's throwing elbows. It's hilarious. But the long story short, trying to filter 300 or 400 people into the show Saturday morning at 7 a.m. I was like, hey, how do you mail all these badges out, Evan? What's your guys' software or system? And he's like, actually, we're printing them off in person. And I'm like, wait a minute, I thought you guys. So any which way, it was like a fun. He's asking me, what am I doing? And I'm like, well, no. Right. What are you guys doing? And so any which way. So badges will be at the door or at the printed off kiosks that you guys can check out at EQUIP. And then also at the Tuesday reception with, by the way, Kris, I got to say a big thank you for, renting out that stadium and having this huge get together and, blasting off some fireworks. Cause I told my wife, I said, Tuesday, I'm planning a whole anniversary surprise. Don't do anything Tuesday. I'm renting out a stadium. All of our 4,000 or 5,000 best friends are going to be there. And she's like, you mean the opening reception at EQUIP? And I said, how did you know about that? She goes, I listened to the podcast, dum-dum. And so I was telling her that I rented this whole thing out and I was trying to make it a big hoopla. And I said, Husqvarna's sponsoring it. And she's like, you mean EQUIP is putting all this together? And so I tried to pull a fast one, but
good try.
Good effort, as a dude, you got to do what you can do, but the opening reception is going to be a lot of fun. That's new, right? You guys have never done that before. So I'm really excited about checking that out.
Brand new. It's at a great facility. It's right downtown. It's a good looking facility.
Cool.
So we're looking forward to it. We've not done it, as you just said, in the past. And again, there'll be kiosks there, as well as drink tickets. And they use, just a quick one on this kiosk business, right? So they literally, poor Evan, it's a shame he's not enthusiastic about this thing. For your listeners, Evan, who are on our staff, couldn't be a more, he lives and breathes this stuff. He knows it cold. He's a technologically advanced fella.
He's a smart dude. Dude.
My office is next to his. I wish I had his energy and enthusiasm. He's a terrific asset. But they used me as a dummy. They said, okay, here's the kiosk. Here's your registration. Make a thing. And I did it.
So if you can do it, we can do it. One of those deals?
Yeah. You punched the thing a couple times. But yeah, we're excited. We had no idea. We were pretty pleased to see the first 1,000. We're like, oh, that's great. And then the second, the third, and now the fourth.
Yeah.
So, and we know because of the hotel numbers are way up by a third for that Tuesday night. So we think that'll be a terrific event. It's
cool.
A beautiful little facility.
Cool. Well, a lot of you guys listening in, if you guys want a good resource after this episode, go back to I was just looking it up, episode 402. It's called Our EQUIP Expo Attack Plan 2022. Because I told a bunch of just details if you guys have never been. Hotels, downtown hotels versus expo hotels on the fairgrounds. Travel plans, where I'm going to be, what booths, booth takeovers, if you will. Tuesday night before the EQUIP thing, I'm going to be hanging with my friend Mitchell Gordy at one of his meetups and deals. So there's tons of stuff going on. After parties, meetings. The Influencer Live, I think, is 8 a.m. Man, I should have looked this one up. I think it's Thursday morning, right? Before the show maybe opens up. A bunch of influencers are putting that thing together. 2 o'clock on Thursday is Energized. That's going to be another influencer kind of an event. All in the main education area in the event center, which is right attached to the EQUIP Expo showroom floor. So it's like literally walking distance, like across the hall. Like you guys can't miss any of this stuff. We'd hope you guys come. Hope you guys come and check it out. Support, high five, shake hands, take some photos. It's going to be just a really, really good time. Kris, I don't want to be an expensive date. I super appreciate everything that you got going on. I appreciate Debbie reaching back out. We wanted to just get you on the show one more time. If you guys haven't got your ticket and registered just yet, I really encourage you guys to do so. By the time you guys are hearing this podcast, it's going to be the last day or so, basically, if I can time this right, to get registered for the event. We'll leave links in the description. We'll probably have the link in our Instagram profile. You guys can check it out. Make sure you guys get registered. Here, just a quick selfish thing. don't pay $80 at the door. It's completely unnecessary. Just pre-register, okay? And not only that, it gives these guys a bunch of stats for food and catering. You guys have heard some people talk about that on podcasts. Like, we got to get catalogs and badges and personnel and food and banquet orders. Like, so it's just a respectful, courteous thing, if you guys don't mind, to just register. That way they can kind of get a little bit more of an accurate number for you guys coming in. But I'm telling you what, they're going to roll out the green carpet, I'm going to call it, for you guys, and come on down to Louisville. EQUIP Expo 2022. It's the first ever EQUIP. And how cool would it be in 30 years if you were a young buck? I'm thinking Jerry Krause and the Gabe Poltritis and the Henrik Glistisons out there. You guys are 15, 18, 20 years old, 24 years old, and you guys came to the quote-unquote first EQUIP. And 30 years from now, you're an old hat in the industry like Paul Kamara. And you can say, I went to the first EQUIP Expo in 2022, and it's the year 2053. And you can say, yep, I went to the first one, and I've been 35 years straight. I mean, you don't really get that many opportunities to capitalize on a legacy like this. So if you guys want to come on down, just a green carpet invitation, come on down to Louisville, Kentucky. Chris, we super appreciate you taking time on the show. Any final thoughts, my friend? But if not, we'll button this thing up.
I would just say, if you're going to register online, and I hope you're doing it, I appreciate you saying that, get them in early. That helps us. But don't forget Mulligan's Fun Run. The photographer came by the building today and said, hey, the photographer's here. So I stood up and he says, no, I'm here for the dog. God's truth.
There you go.
So they were shooting her for the Humane Society. So our fun run is Wednesday morning over the 4th Street Bridge, the
get there early
bridge,
yep.
across the river.
Yep.
That's a great event.
I'm running it, Chris. I'm running.
That's great.
My wife signed me up. I don't know if that's.
I'll be there eating donuts. So I'll be sure to shake your hand.
If you can save me a donut, I would. If you could be ever so kind. My wife signed both of us up. She was talking to Evan. I don't know if you heard this story, but in the back seat, she goes, "We'll definitely run." And long story short, I'm pretty sure she's dipping out. So somehow I'm supposed to run across the bridge. I said on a recent podcast, I hope there's like a Chipotle or a Starbucks waiting for me, because there better be. I mean, it's Chris. I mean, it should be. It sounds like an oxymoron, like jumbo shrimp, government worker, like fun run. I just don't. But what do I know, right, brother? So if somebody's got a pink,
you can walk.
I might walk. Well, but I do want to get back to the EQUIP event, so it might take me 2 days to walk this thing. So, if anybody's got a pink strawberry frosted donut they want to have, or a 25 count box of Munchkins ready for me at the finish line, or even halfway through, or just somebody just run a moped and feed them to me while I'm running across this bridge, that'd be great. Chris, that's what I got, brother. Thank you so much for. Sorry, folks, this is what you get. They keep emailing me. Hey, do you want Chris as a guest? I said, sure. We haven't messed it up just yet. I don't know how or why they keep returning the phone call, but Chris, we love you. We appreciate you, brother. Guys.
Thank you. See you soon.
Yeah, you bet, brother. Well, guys, that's what I got for you guys on today's show. Definitely check out the registration link in the YouTube and not the YouTube, but the podcast description. Register now. Like, if you're on the mower, literally take 5 and register now. If you guys know you're coming, don't pay the $80 at the door. Pay the $20 early bird registration that you guys can still capitalize on. So, all right, I am all good, all set here, guys. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast, guys. We look forward to catching up with you here on the next one.
Ready to charge up your business and take it to the next level? Well, plug in and join us for Launchpreneur Academy Live 2022. Don't miss this electrifying opportunity to hear from our top industry professionals. Get powered up in this high-energy atmosphere, learning trade industry knowledge and ways to level up your thinking. This high-energy teaching and networking event is full of motivational information, giveaways, and trade industry secrets. Take charge and register now for the industry's largest training event of the year, Launchpreneur Academy Live 2022.
All around, it's just a great experience.
I didn't realize how important that LAL is.
You get more than you spend at for a 4-year degree.
Man, I can't wait. This has been a great event, and I will definitely be back next year.
Take charge and register now.
Launchpreneur Academy Live is Saturday, November 12th in Novi, Michigan.
And we're going to get a little bit more detail. I want to help you guys grow larger companies, more crews, more profitable businesses, a little bit more X's and O's.
And the link to register is in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.